Today, understand first sense, the inner perception that guides both functions of thinking, because the thinker does not select the ground or direct the development blindly. The thinker has a faculty of inner perception, a sense that operates from within before the five senses have spoken, and this faculty is what tells the thinker which ground to choose and which seed to place before the germination. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 133 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of germination, first sense and germination. Pause for a moment. 6 days in, the midpoint of the first half of this cycle, the ground has been understood, the seed has been understood, the stability of germination has been established. Today, understand first sense, the inner perception that guides both functions of thinking, because the thinker does not select the ground or direct the development blindly. The thinker has a faculty of inner perception, a sense that operates from within, before the five senses have spoken, and this faculty is what tells the thinker which ground to choose, and which seed to place before the germination. Pause. There are two ways the thinker perceives. The second is through the five senses. What is physically seen, heard, felt, tasted, touched, the report of what is without, the physical world describing itself. This is the secondary perception, not primary, secondary, because what it reports is effect, the physical world that is already expressed. The result of what was first within. The five senses report what has already happened. They do not perceive what is happening within, and what is happening within is primary. Pause. The first way the thinker perceives is through first sense, the inner perception, the faculty that operates from within. Before the five senses have confirmed anything, first sense perceives what is within as real, not potentially real, not conditionally real. Real, the thought held within, the seed carried within, the metaphysical reality that precedes physical expression. First sense perceives this as the primary reality, and it is, because within governs what is physically seen, not the other way around. First sense is the perception that operates from this truth. Pause for a moment. How does first sense guide the first function of thinking? The first function selects the environment when first sense is operating. When the thinker is perceiving from within, the ground selected is the fertile mind, the environment aligned with metaphysical reality. First sense tells the thinker that what is within is real, and from that perception, the selection of ground is natural. The thinker selects fertile ground because first sense confirms that the seed held within is real, and real seeds require fertile ground. When the five senses dominate instead, the ground selected is reactive, determined by what has already expressed, by what conditions are reporting, by what is without. First sense is therefore the guide for the first function. It tells the thinker where to operate from. Pause for a moment. How does first sense guide the second function of thinking? The second function drives the development of the thought. When first sense is operating, the thinker knows which seed to develop, the thought from within, the metaphysical reality that is already complete. First sense perceives this thought as real, as worth developing, as the seed that holds the expression the thinker is moving toward. And from that perception, the direction of the second function is clear. Direct thinking upon this seed, sustain it, develop it. When the five senses dominate, the thinker is developing the conditions the senses report, not the seed from within, because the five senses have persuaded the thinker that what is without is primary. First sense is the corrective, the return to what is actually primary. What is within? Pause for a moment. How is first sense accessed? Through stillness, through the morning practice, through the deliberate act of withdrawing from what is without and returning within when the mind is still. When the five senses have not yet set the agenda, first sense operates naturally. It perceives what is within as real. It guides the selection of ground. It identifies the seed. It initiates the germination. This is why the morning practice is not merely a routine. It is the act that opens first sense, that returns the thinker to the faculty of inner perception before the day begins, before the five senses take over, while the perception of what is within is still primary. Not doubtfulness, not struggle, not force. You are not pushing the seed. Not pressure. You are not trying to make it happen, but steadfastness, focused. Remain aligned with what is within. Do not be moved by what is physically seen, because what is physically seen is always secondary to what is unfolding. Now, the affirmation for day 133. Pause for a moment. I operate from first sense. I perceive from within. What is within me is real. The seed I carry is real. Before the five senses have confirmed it, before the physical world has expressed it, real, within. My first sense tells me this, and from this inner perception, I select the fertile ground. I direct thinking upon the seed from within, both functions guided by first sense, both operating from what is primary, not from what is without, not from what is already expressed, from what is within. And what is within, through sustained germination, must physically express, remember, by design, by focus.